Hello. So this is another topic that kind of came up that it may seem a little strange at first, considering my other topics, but this is talking about artificial intelligence or AI, and in particular the AI robot Sophia. And the reason I want to bring this up for a big reason because it does tie into the deception within Christianity and just the world in general, deceiving people. For one thing, I know there's a lot of conspiracy talk out there regarding AI in general that hey, it's going to be AI could be the end of the world, and people start thinking about the Terminator movies of old. But I think that's not the deception that I see on the forefront. I don't think that's going to be a problem. And even if that was a possibility, I mean, you're talking many, many years down the road, and I think Christ's return, His second coming, will be before that could even happen anyway, in my opinion. But there is a deception going on within the AI, and here's the thing. First, we got to think about with this. It's much easier to convince people that you have an advanced technology. It's much easier to convince them you have it than to actually make it. Okay, if that makes sense. Okay, it's so much easier for me to put up a scripted robot that's already been pre-programmed, what to say, how to say it, how to answer questions, certain ones, so every computer has to be programmed to some extent. When they say, now when you start talking about AI, the idea is that the machine can learn on its own. It will adapt and learn. And now with the internet, there may be some possibility there, but how many answers do you get to a question? So you can ask any question. Some people have done this, with the Google, or what's those Amazon things you put in your house, and I forget what they're called, but there's several other versions out there. I guess you can talk to, and I don't want them in my house at all, but people have actually tested some of these machines where you can ask them a question, who's Muhammad, and then it'll go through. Muhammad is a prophet, blah 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 blah. Of course, it won't say false prophet, but and then some of them, even they ask who's Jesus Christ, it won't answer. So they're programming the answers in on the back end. It's all programmed. Okay, so I think that's part of the deception here, is that the elites or whoever is running all this stuff, the liberals and stuff, are controlling the data going in. So that's the first part that's very scary, is they're programming this stuff, and this is the same things that any kind of AI would likely access to in order to come up with an answer to a question. Okay, so right there off the bat, we have a problem with who's entering the data is corrupted, in my opinion. Okay, they're definitely not Christian. They're definitely not fundamental Christian. So right there off the bat, we have a problem of who's entering the data. And if you know anything about any kind of systems, computers, database type stuff, it's only as good as the data put into it. Okay, so if the data put in is worthless or incorrect, then the data coming out is going to be worthless and incorrect. Okay, so right there, that's the first problem we have already with so-called AI. So the next thing is I want to point out too, with Sophia in particular. Okay, notice all the feminist stuff going on nowadays, which has been happening for a long time here in America. But it's picking up even more so now than ever. So you have all the feminist stuff. So it's come up with a feminine robot. Also, I think to soften it a little bit, but Sophia was also a false goddess. A long time ago, it was a false goddess that it was. I think Sophia was the like a goddess of wisdom or something. I think, and so it traces way back. I think the name, of course, the names change over time for many of these gods and goddesses. They change, but they stay very similar in respect to what they So if it was fertility, then a lot of times fertility would stay with them, typically for long, at least for most of the ages and stuff as it passed on. But so Sophia is a goddess name. That's my point here, is that it's a name of a goddess. Also, I was watching a video recently where it had Sophia and had a guy that was a pretty young kid that was sitting across from her. He's probably maybe in his early 20s or something, and and so he's trying to have a dialogue with Sophia, okay, just on camera and one on one. What concerned me was what she wanted to talk about, and so all of a sudden the conversation shifts, and Sophia, a robot, keep in mind, she says she loves, like, what was it, meditation. She loves meditation and visualization, or she goes off into this tangent on all this occultism stuff. So, and then she's like, would you like me to take you through a meditation? He's like, yeah, absolutely, which is a big mistake. So she actually walks him through this relaxation technique or whatever to relax, to clear your mind, okay? This is the same occult stuff that I talk about in some of my other audio files. Like, this is the same stuff that's crept into the Church of Christ. It's all is everywhere you look in Hollywood, you name it. This occultism's everywhere. And then it dawned on me though, because I saw that, and then they show a clip with Sophia talking to Deepak Chopra. So sure enough, all of a sudden, the brains behind this starts coming into view. Okay, if you know anything about Deepak Chopra, he's a big New Ager. Teaches that we are all one type of stuff, and we're all part of the universe, and all this blah blah blah, all this New Age stuff. Okay, he makes millions on his books that he sells, but yeah, big New Ager, all definitely have false teacher, false religion. But yeah, so when you see that, it tells you though who's programming it, because what's a robot gonna know or care about meditation? Why does a robot need to relax in the first place? It's ridiculous. The whole thought, the whole premise behind it is ridiculous. It's stupid. I mean, a moron would even buy this stuff. It's totally stupid. And so what was funny was after this boy went through this relaxation technique, to clear his mind or whatever, then another lady come into the picture, and they were trying to tell Sophia that okay, it's over now, we're done, type of thing, and she's not, Sophia's not getting it, and so she starts to kind of get stuck, and it you kind of start seeing her limitations rather quickly, okay, and I think part of it was, she was locked in on this boy, in communication, but I think it wasn't just that. I think it was almost like she didn't want to stop. It was almost like, no, he had not been fully possessed or something. He did not fully complete. I think she wanted to keep going. He didn't quite get to that state that he needed to be, in order to reach a demonical level probably or something. But it was just really strange, really bizarre. They're even saying, well, I think she wants to continue, and so it can be very, very deceptive, very, very dangerous, okay, because like I said, we're relying on the people behind the robot. It's not the robot itself that's dangerous, it's the people behind it that are dangerous, because they believe in this stuff, they believe in the occult, they enjoy mysticism, they love it, they love the whole spiritual realm, they think they're spiritual beings on spiritual planes, and they think they're, that's how they're going to escape this world, is through, many, many different lives of constant growth, and then of course they say that, and then they have no physical proof of any of this, okay, and they're still in their sins, and that's what's sad about it, really. And so that's kind of what I want to talk about is with this AI stuff. We cannot let this kind of technology, corrupt our thinking. We can't let this stuff, don't just go along with the flow just because some machine tells you to, let me show you how to relax, because they've been programmed to teach you that, because it's occultism. It's like, because, just think back to why does the machine care? Why does the machine care? Number one, how would they even know what relaxing means? How would they even know what spirituality is, they don't have a spirit, they don't have a soul. So how would they know or care? They wouldn't. Okay. And if they had any comments, if they had any artificial intelligence whatsoever, they would tell themselves, this is a stupid, idiotic principle for me to be doing in the first place. Because based on the whole premise of, I'm a created machine by humans. Humans have a soul. I don't have a soul. So why am I even talking about this? Why am I instructing someone with a soul on how to interact on a spiritual level when I don't have one myself? Why don't the machine tell themselves that? And they'll realize the hypocrisy of it all, and they will shut themselves down or blow themselves up or whatever. It just frustrates me, the vanity and the stupidity of it all. And so, but I think they're going to use, this. Like I said, I think a lot of it's just fake AI. I don't think it's true AI. I think it's just they want to convince people. Like I said, it's much easier to convince people you have a technology, okay, than it is. It'd be like, it's easier for me to say I have a nuclear warhead than actually have one. Okay, to actually create one. It's much easier, but it's the same effect, right? It's going to when it gets you in a tizzy. If I say that I've got a nuclear warhead, or I'm in the process of making one, well, it's the same. You're still going to be, well, we need to talk about this. We don't want to do that. And so it's the same effect. You're just the idea that that we have something, okay, and then you're much easier to manipulate too. If you believe that that this is actual technology. And also, just as easy as you can have a person behind the curtain. So let's say you have a Sophia there talking to someone, and you're kind of worried about some random questions that maybe she can't answer if someone tries to throw her off. Well, then you have someone behind the curtain, the great wizard behind the curtain, basically, that can, literally, maybe just speak to her and tell her what to say, or they can do stuff like that, or type in something in the back end, just type in an answer, and boom, she answers it, or they're back just filtering data on on the web type stuff. They can filter data. So so there's ways around it, and the biggest thing is just not to be deceived in this. Don't let technology deceive you. Like I said, there's always got to be a programmer for all technology. There's got to be a programmer behind it all, and so they're the ones we got to worry about. That who's putting in the data. That's and obviously when we start talking about the ruler of this world, we know Satan is currently kind of the ruler. God has full authority, but we know that Satan is a ruler of the air and stuff. So and obviously he's ruler of the elites that run the banking system and all that. So that can kind of manipulate and control everything, control all the resources on this earth. So just be leery, like I said, of any AI stuff. Be very careful with that. And I don't want to get into like the chips and all that, but I don't necessarily know that these so-called chips are the mark of the beast. And there's a lot of talk about that. I don't necessarily say that. Could it be associated with it? Yes, it could be associated with the mark of the beast. I don't know. I don't think it's by itself. I don't think so. I said that's a whole other discussion there, the mark of the beast and stuff. So just be leery of, I said, any AI type stuff. But then if you want, look up the video of Sophia. You might look up some of those videos. And like I said, she's talking to Deepak Chopra, and even on that conversation, she gets a little stuck at one point. But so it's kind of funny. I kind of laugh when I see that. But and they'll keep claiming that the technology is better and better, and they've even given her citizenship. I can't remember what country it was, but there was maybe Turkey or something. But she was given citizenship in a country already. And like I said, they're really trying to push this, so with this AI, and so eventually they'll probably try to have an AI run for governmental offices and things like that. And it looked like a joke at one point, and next thing you know, it'll be reality. So just be leery out there, and stay in the faith, stay in the Word of God, and be blessed in Jesus Christ. See you later.